Good evening, Jules. Good evening, Mark. Thank you for the invite tonight. And what I want to do is distract, dispute and inspire you in a simple, visual, practical way. And get you to experience risk without actually putting you at risk. Well, I hope, anyway. That's my aim. And before we go on to that, obviously, yeah, my name is Mark Curry. My day job is National IOSH Compliance Manager for Ground Control. I cover the construction division, highways, rail fencing, construction fencing, hard landscaping, EV charge point. We cover many different divisions. So my main job is I'm out there on the ground and I task myself to engage with people, with our workforce. And when Dave's been talking about college students, apprentices and coming up with these ideas, I've taken this idea and put it to our SMEs, them small, medium-sized enterprises, our man in the van. We've got 3 people in a van, their own business, they work as a subcontractor, and it's very difficult to try and engage with them, especially if you start talking about legislation and you say, you know, you've got a toolbox talk to do, and they shut off. So how can we actually practically engage and involve those people? And that's the most important thing, and that's what I want to do with you tonight. And I've got lots of different ideas and props that have come from a lot of projects and have been developed by the students, and I've taken that package and that project, the concept behind the project is the key, because once you understand the concept, you can develop anything. You can develop anything and deliver it to your student and the SMEs, then the man in the van, then contractors that have been involved in something for 20 years, 25 years. Because sometimes they'll shut off, especially when you start to get this. Right, you're on my workforce. Tonight you're my workforce and you're out there, you've been working all day and you see health and safety come on site and you think, oh no. Well, that's something we want to try and get away with. I get disappointed. I want to be invited to site. Mark, come and do an inspection. Come and do some training. Come and do some face-fit testing. Drug and alcohol screening. So I cover lots of different areas. But to get invites to site, if I get that, I think, yes, that's an achievement. I want them to welcome me on site. I don't go on site with a tie on and a clipboard and running through that. I wear what they would wear. And I get engaged with them and I try that to the best of my ability. And if I don't, I ask myself, have I achieved that? Is it possible? Is it necessary? And is it worth it? Keep those 3 questions in your head. And I believe with the Locker project, it absolutely is, because you can get that. So you've been working all day, you're my workforce. And I want to talk to you about dust control. And I've called you into the welfare, and you're out there, you're on a job and not on price, you need to get that job done, and you're thinking, oh, no, another briefing, you see a pile of stuff like this, and you see a projector go up with a slide saying, 2 slides of 38, and you're thinking, I'm saying, oh, you're not going to be long. But what I do want to talk to you about is Regulation 8 of COSH, use of control measures. The employee's duties. The employer's duties. And you think, how can I listen to this? I've heard this before. I've seen the toolbox talks. What about, I want to talk to you about face-fit testing, qualitative face-fit testing, and I want to talk to you about the guidance in the Operational Circular 282/28, which is the streamlining of what the HSE would like you to do. And you're like, what? 282/28? What's that? Well, with the Locker project, we look at it in a different way. And, you know, how can I, if I put a slide up and give you information on dust, the size of a piece of silica dust, the size of a whisker, and the importance of being clean shaven to be face-fit tested, which is a requirement by law, because the HSE can go and put a prohibition notice on you where there's imminent risk or danger. They can do that. And they'll stop the work because you are putting yourself at risk. If you're not clean shaven and you haven't got a mask on, you haven't got water suppression, it's vitally important. So rather than me put a slide up, does anyone know what the daily exposure limits of silica dust is acceptable? Well, locker project come up with lots of different things. And
Well, you didn't give anyone a chance to answer them.
sorry?
Does anyone know what the daily exposure value is for silica dust?
I think it's 0.1 milligrams per cubic.
I actually want to know what your one, but it's a very, very small.
It's very, very small. However,
I'll Google it in a minute.
what we've got, the way I would explain it is get a pen and a little bit of blue dust on there and just put a tiny little bit of a smudge on there, and that will show, you wouldn't even be able to see it from over there. And it's a tiny little bit of dust on there. But getting them involved in showing them rather than putting a screen up, because a piece of silica dust is 0.03 microns, a whisker is 7 microns. It's massive. That's why we need to get a clean shape. We must have a good tight seal around there to prevent that with an FFP3 filter for silica dust. And it should be reviewed, because if we have significant weight loss and significant weight gain, or we have a broken nose or dental treatment or scars or moles within this area that affects a seal, we should be able to review that. We must be able to maintain that seal. But what about the weekly exposure limit? Has anyone got any idea of what a weekly exposure limit would be? Teaspoon drawn into 4 quarters. And to pass that round and show, I won't give you but just to show the weekly exposure limit, rather than putting figures and facts and slides up on there, it just gives you an idea of how much silica dust is the exposure limit. Now, depending on your lung capacity, your age, your gender, when you're cutting with steel saw, and you haven't got water suppression and you haven't got a mask, with one inhalation, you could mostly take a week's worth of exposure in. And it's massive. So, these little simple things that a lot of projects have come up with to demonstrate is absolutely brilliant. If we get all that syringe down, and it comes down easy, to maintain the seal, if we think about the seal around the face, and we've got a bit of masking tape over the top, it's not a seal. So if you think about a piece of silica dust 0.03 microns is about the size of a pinprick. To give you some idea, if I put a pinprick in that, draw it down, and you think of a pinprick on a penny to show you the size of a piece of silica dust. Now, if you've got a whisker, 7 microns, and you have got a clean, tight seal, you're going to breathe in. And it won't be long before you've exceeded your daily exposure limit, your weekly exposure limit. Again, a very good way to demonstrate. But I could be reading chapter and verse, otherwise it'll be on page 3 at the moment. So we're getting there. But it's about that engagement.
Quick question. How do you get round someone who, for religious reasons?
Remind me, I've got a box under there, full of religious reasons, so don't worry about that, I can focus on that very shortly. So the other thing about maintaining the seal, another good way of doing it, when we've got a mask, and you've got this material here that you get maintain the seal, just a basic mask, material there, that's a disposable. This is JSP full safe press check, again, this material here. I've got a balloon pump and a balloon on there, and I've got a similar material around there. So I want to try and maintain that seal, and I'll pump the balloon up. I think I might have a pump for this one. Oh no, it's looking good. It's not going down. It's maintaining that seal. However, further down on this pump, I have a little bit of Velcro, which will simulate whiskers. Balloon goes down. And this is something that students come up with. And all it is is a pump with the same material as what would be around the mask, and then a little bit of Velcro around that. And it's just a very simple, visual, practical way of demonstrating the importance of shaving. Because they will not be protected if that isn't in place. When you're on site as well, where would you have the opportunity to dissect a lung? You wouldn't do that because you can't dissect a lung and show that silica dust in. However, with a locker project you can. I've got a little bit of sponge, we'll imitate the lung. You can see that's a clean bit of sponge. This is the working environment here. So what I will do, I will put just over a week's worth of exposure in there. Put that back on. So that's the working environment. That's your lung. I'll put that in now. This is your lung capacity. This is your breath. Sounds. Yeah, that needs a bit of WD-40 on that, Dave. Okay, so now I'm going to push that onto there. So what we want to think about is my lung capacity is a lot greater than this. You can breathe in, your lung capacity is good. If I give that a squash and then shake it, working environment, lung capacity, once. Take that off. You can see there, the blue dot. You think how much, that would mostly be a tiny little bit of breath. The no worker is going to be on a skill store, cutting, drilling, scabbling, chasing, breaking out, going. They're using large muscles, their quadriceps, gluteus, their biceps, triceps, pectorals, all their major muscles in the body to work that machine. And they're going to get breathless, so they're going to be breathing. So if they haven't got the seal, so I would get that. I'd take a slice of it. Still there. That was a little bit. Let me take a bit more off. Still there. Very tiny little bit there. But all the way of cutting, dissecting that lung, it gives you a good example of how deep inhalation actually affects you. And also, you know, with the light. Most probably, if I patted the cushion, you can see a bit of dust come up. You know, in the welfare, on site, you will always get that. So a torch, ultraviolet light, it will show you the dust. And you, even with a worker, pat their clothes. I'm not going to, in case I look dusty. That, again, that is one of the things that can happen. So you must maintain that seal to be clean shaven. I had a question earlier about religious reasons, and it does happen, and beards are very fashionable, extremely fashionable. Lots of people, lots of young workers now actually wear a beard. They have a beard. They've got to be, you know, fit for purpose. They have to be clean shaven to do that job. Information, instruction, training, supervision. Dave mentioned that, and within the construction, CDM regulations, we must have skills, knowledge, training, experience and understanding limitations. And you must have the right man for the right job. And if he isn't prepared to shave, then you think, well, should he be doing that job? But with religious reasons and other reasons, people must have that opportunity. So what we've got is a power air-fed mask, which you don't need to be facelift tested for. You don't need to be clean shaven. So this, would you like to demo this?
Yeah.
Actually, what I'll do is if you stand up, put that on. So the hard hat is a basic construction hard hat, EN397, which will cover you for a construction site. If you're cutting or drilling anything that ejects, you must have EN166B rating. This is B rating protected. With dust, you must have FFP3. However, this holds FFP2 filter, but it meets the requirement for the particulate, the assigned protection value of 20 within an FFP3 filter. So if you put that on, when you put that on and then hold that and just pull that down, and this is in fact quite refreshing. Pull that down under your chin. Okay, how's that feel? Did you smell model for Brown Statter? Okay, if you can just move forward, rather than strap this around you, if you can hold that for me.
I can do that. They're going to want this at the committee meeting, you do realise.
Right, it's starting to steam up in there, just give it a couple of seconds and you'll start to feel quite fresh in there. Breathe, heavy breathe. And you'll see it steam up and it'll clear straight away. Now, the difference is, when you're talking about a mask, and we must think about hazardous danger, time, effort, money, what is reasonably practical, and have a balance. Well, depending on the cost, this filter here, this mask here, FFP3, that's about £20. Like Dave said, these other ones are, a lot cheaper and they don't do the same job. This does a good job, a reusable mask. However, if you've got a beard or you have religious reasons, you could wear this, but that would be the cost of about £350. But it depends on the circumstances. Hazardous danger, time, effort, money. But do you feel quite fresh in there? Do you want to carry on wearing that for the rest of the presentation? So that is absolutely... Okay, now if this gets blocked or the tube gets damaged, an alarm will go off. But this just gives you another... Thank you very much. But it just gives you another example of what can be used. Welders can get these with the welding shield as well. So there's lots of different things you can use, but it just gives you some idea. Now, if we're thinking about occupational asthma, cancers, respiratory problems and diseases, and your difficulty of breathing, what I'd like to do, can I just pass these out? There's a straw each for you there. Cool, yeah, you took quite a lot there. I think we'll be enough. If you can hold that straw. These are environmentally friendly as well. Tesco's, I got them from, but there's a lot of other stores you can purchase them from. Now, this is something I want to try and get through to you. COPD is restriction of the airways for you to breathe. Okay? So if your heart rate is increased, you're going to be deeper breathing and you'll find it hard to catch your breath. Can you all just stand up for me?
If any of you have got a respiratory condition or a chest condition, don't do this. Mark said about doing things in a safe manner.
Yeah, I want you to experience risk, but I don't want you to put yourself at risk. But just firstly, what I want to try and do is increase your heart rate slightly. So stand with your feet 1.5 times hip apart, knees bent, head up, back straight, corners your mouth, round your ears and smile. Yes, lovely. Okay, just bend your knees, go down. As you go down, put your arms up. Yes, looking good, you're looking fine out there. Okay, now I want you to put your arms here. Watch the person next to you, you don't hit them, go out, out, up, up, down, down, out, out, cross, cross, down, up, out, all back. Okay, here we go. Out, out, up, up, down, down, out, out, cross, cross, down, up, out, and clap. Give yourself some clap. Okay, sit down straight away, put the straw in your mouth, pinch your nose, and breathe through your straw. For me, I'm finding that hard because I was standing up and giving it a bit more exercise and exertion there. It restricts your airways and the amount that you can breathe in. And you start to feel uncomfortable. So for me now, if somebody suffers from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, what else can you do? There is something else that you can use to assist you. Are you okay?
Your straw.
Who's seen this type of thing? And normally it's somebody possibly in a motorised wheelchair or some device to assist them so they don't become breathless. It's quite nice actually. But you will need assistance. Or you may have the mask, but you'd get more of a direct supply of oxygen, and that is because your airways are restricted. But using the straw technique, now if I was on site in a welfare, you've done some light exercise, I will get it, especially if we're in an upper level office, I'll get them running downstairs, coming upstairs, coming down, running up, and try it. When you've got more of an opportunity to increase your heart rate and become slightly breathless, immediately pinch your nose, put the straw in and try and breathe. Again, that is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It will give you that feeling. And I think without the locker projects, I wouldn't be able to have demonstrated that, and it's them type of things that are absolutely valuable and important to do. So really, that's for just talking about dust, that covers that pretty well there. And I'd like to go on to noise.